Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. All right, I'm just going to move something around here, just off to the side, so I can see everything all at once. So let's do one of those, and then do one of these. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We have Petra. Gaia, so good to see you, bud. So good to see you here. And Cam, thank you guys. First off, thank you guys for this opportunity to stream to the Gamer Talk channel. This is a really, really cool opportunity. I've never done anything like this before. I've done like some, co-streams with some other people and done, kind of like a back and forth like podcast type thing like once or twice before, but never actually streamed to another channel like this and been the host for the afternoon. So first off, big thank you to all the folks over at Gamer Talk. I really, really do appreciate this. I've been, throwing this in my Discord, on Twitter, super excited for this this amazing opportunity. So I really, really want to thank you guys for allowing me to take over the channel, as it would be for the afternoon. And hopefully we can have some fun. You guys can learn a few things about me. Maybe we can catch some shiny Pokemon, and then we can, get into, some maybe some talk about Sword and Shield coming up in a few weeks. But I've been given a list of questions to go over. So I'm just going to answer those. You guys get to learn a little bit about me, and then we'll jump in game, and we'll run around, try to find some slightly different colored Pokemon, and then get overly excited when we do. So, number one, where are you from, and what is your username? So, I am from Canada. I live near Toronto. So I'm in like the southern portion of Ontario. Just live on the outside of Toronto, not right in the downtown section. I can't ever live down in there. I like going into the city, but I could never actually physically live down in there. And my username is Rynot. You guys can just call me Rynot. The reason why I'm 916 everywhere else and 926 everywhere else, it's really just the old account that was associated with 916. I lost all of the recovery information for it, so I'm just like, you know what? We rebranded as 926. So there we go. But to dig into question number 2, the origin of my username is it was a nickname that I had growing up. So my friends would just come up to me, they would just start calling me Rynot. And when it came time to start streaming, I'm like, what could I use as a username? And I didn't want to, try to come up with something else. And I'm like, wait, everybody already just calls me Rynot. So why don't I just use that? And it works. So, Love God, hi! How are you doing? Good to see you. Alrighty, so number 3. How long have you been streaming for, and what made you want to start? Okay, so this is kind of like a 2-ish part question. So, I originally started streaming, I want to say about 4 years ago or so. I started streaming about 4 years ago or so on this channel. I stuck with it for maybe a couple of weeks, and then that was it. Then a couple years go by, and I started playing a mobile game with some friends at work, and realized that there was a huge content creation program, I guess, with that game, or a community rather. That's probably the better way to go. There was lots of people making YouTube videos and streaming on YouTube, and I thought I could probably do this. So I started streaming on YouTube in January of 2018, I want to say it was. Around January 2018 is where I really started regularly streaming on YouTube. And I streamed for about 8 or 9 months over there on YouTube. And then I got my Switch. And I was super excited to get my Switch. And then so the very first game I got for my Switch was Breath of the Wild. And then I found out that you cannot stream Nintendo IP games on YouTube specifically. So I was like, that's, I want to be able to stream Breath of the Wild because this is what I'm playing right now and I'm having fun with it. So I'm like, you know what? Let's flip things over to Twitch. So I rebooted the Twitch channel in the very end of September of 2018. We hit affiliate on October 9th last year. So we've just passed the 1 year of being affiliate on Twitch. So I started to stream kind of like half and half. I would stream the mobile game on YouTube, and then whenever I wanted to do anything for the Switch, I would do it on the Twitch channel. So I kind of had both going at the same time, and then I realized I'm like, this is a lot to keep up with, and I really should just stick with one. And I sat down and I looked at what I wanted to do in the long run, and I'm like, there's more content on the Switch and just like that in general that I want to be able to do, and I don't want to have my channel restricted. So I'm like, you know what? I'll keep the YouTube channel, but I won't be streaming to the YouTube channel anymore. I'll do all of my live streaming over on Twitch. So yeah, that's the backstory, I guess, of how we got started here. So how often do you stream, and do you follow a schedule? So I do follow a schedule. The main 3 days throughout the week that are always guaranteed is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings from 9:30 p.m. Eastern till around 11:30-ish or so. So those are the 3 nights that I have every single week, and then I do usually stream on Saturdays. It's usually, my start time is a little wonky because my wife's work schedule can sometimes change on Saturdays, but I usually start somewhere between 1 and 2:30 on Saturdays and then go for a few hours. And then I also sometimes have the ability to stream on Sundays, again, just because of my wife's work schedule. So we will actually be streaming tomorrow, this weekend, but I don't think I'll have next Sunday to be able to stream, for example. So what are some of your favorite games to stream? So, lately, I have been streaming Pokemon Let's Go pretty much entirely. We have Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out in just under 3 weeks on November the 15th. So I've been streaming a lot of Pokemon Let's Go to get ready for Sword and Shield. But what I've been doing in Pokemon Let's Go is, because Let's Go is only the first generation, so what I've been doing is I've been trying to get the entire first generation as shinies. And we're getting really, really close, and I want to be able to have this achievement done before November the 15th, before Sword and Shield comes out. There are very few people that have accomplished this task, getting it's called a living shiny dex. So for example, if I was to get a Bulbasaur, so let's use Bulbasaur for example, Bulbasaur then evolves to Ivysaur, which evolves to Venusaur. So a living dex means I have 1 Bulbasaur, 1 Ivysaur, and 1 Venusaur. So that would require me to catch 3 Bulbasaurs. If I'm doing a living shiny dex, I need 3 shiny Bulbasaurs, so that I can have a shiny Bulbasaur, a shiny Ivysaur, and a shiny Venusaur. So it is an insanely, painstakingly long task. Not many people have done it, but we are getting really, really close. Out of 150 in the first generation, we have 136. We're only 14 shinies away from completing this monumental achievement. And hopefully today we'll be able to score 1, and then we'll be 13 away from completing this. So basically that's what we've been streaming lately. I do also sometimes like to stream some other games that I can play with viewers. I like to play Rocket League with some friends. It's crazy. It's crazy. How much time have you put into it so far? So if I was to look at the in-game time is not super accurate because I spend time doing resets, which you don't save your game for. But if I was to go into my Switch and add up all the profile hours that I've spent on this hunt, it would probably be somewhere around 600-ish. It's probably around the 650 hours total so far to get to 136 out of 150. So yeah, it's been crazy. It was around the beginning of July, where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna push to get this dex completed. And around July, I had about 60 shinies, give or take. And then we're at 136 right now. So we've made some crazy progress since July. We've just got less than 3 weeks to wrap this up. It's gonna be close, but I think we can do it. I think we can do it. What are some tips that you would give to new streamers? All right, so one of the biggest things that I would say to newer streamers is, just be yourself. Don't try to copy another streamer. Just be yourself. The easiest person to be on stream and just in life is yourself. So I say just be yourself. And if people don't like you for you, then you know what? That's okay. I really enjoy just, being my quirky, funny, crazy self on stream. And honestly, streaming has brought out a deeper side of that in a way. But yeah, that's the biggest thing I would say is just be yourself. Don't try to copy, another Twitch streamer, and because something that works for them might not necessarily work for everybody else. Do you have any streaming goals, and what are you doing to reach them? So in all honesty, my biggest goal in terms of streaming, we've kind of already accomplished this, but I guess the goal is to just kind of keep this up, is just to be able to create a fun and safe environment in my streams and in like my Discord, pretty much wherever I am. I want my community and my viewers, my friends, just to be able to know that they can come here, they can hang out, they can have a fun time. It's a safe environment where we don't care about, where you come from, what your past is, what you're dealing with right now, and just try to create a safe, fun environment. And like I said, we've already achieved that, I feel, in a sense, but the big thing for me is just to keep that going and to maintain that and make sure that, my viewers, when they come into the channel, they have a fun time, we basically take care of everybody. I view everything kind of like as a big family almost, and just being able to hang out, have fun, take care of each other, and know that it's going to be a safe place to hang out, and people don't have to be worried about oh, am I gonna be like judged or made fun of, that kind of a thing. We don't have any of that. Okay, next one. Have or would you ever meet up with someone you met through Twitch? So yes, I would, and yes, I have. I have met up with some people that I've met through Twitch. I've actually met up and then co-streamed with those people. It's been really, really fun. So I've met Xenostar a couple of times, and we've actually streamed together. Not just like from my place and her place, but together at the same time. That's been really, really fun. I've met other streamers like Clockle. I've met Adori, Mother Stacy, so many people that like to hang out in our channel I've met, and they're amazing, amazing people. So yeah, I definitely would be so cool with meeting up with people that we meet on Twitch. Obviously, just with proper conditions, proper environment, that kind of a thing. Love God, we're waiting for you to hop up to Canada. There's so many people up here that we want to get together with you. So we need to plan something. I'm excited. Okay, next one. If you had full control over Twitch, what would you change? So this is just my opinion, of course. What I would do is I would put another level in between affiliate and partner. Because, again, this is in my opinion, the gap between affiliate and partner, I mean, like, this is obvious, but the gap between affiliate and partner is a big gap. And I feel that some people might get discouraged, well, like they hit affiliate and the next thing for them to go for is partner, and that is a very, very, very long journey. Of course, I'm not trying to take away from the hard work that the people that reach partner do to get there. It's an insane amount of work, and it's really, really admirable to see all the grinding and the hard work that all these people put in to make partner. It's really, really inspirational. But I think if there was another level in between those, it would help people, give them something else that they can push towards, and then they hit that level, and then they can focus on partner. Again, that's just my opinion. Some people might disagree with that, but that's something that I would do. Who is another streamer that inspires you? There are so many people. Most recently, I do want to say Mother Stacy. I'm not gonna, like divulge a whole lot of stuff, but she's just an incredibly, incredibly strong person, and just how she's been handling things lately. Is just been really, really awesome. She's been putting, her family first, and it's just really, really, really awesome to see just how she's handling everything, and it's just really, really inspiring to me. So I would say, yeah, Mother Stacy. She is a really, really inspirational person and fellow streamer to me. Alrighty, so that I guess that wraps it up for the little intro here. So hopefully you all learned something new about me. I'm sure some of you may have some questions about all the stuff that's behind me. feel free to talk about it. I love, you know, showing off some of the stuff that I've got back here. But yeah, again, big thank you to Gamer Talk for allowing me to host the channel this afternoon. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to getting to know you all a little bit more as the stream goes on, and hopefully later on as well. Alrighty, so we're gonna hop in game right now, and I just need to do one quick little thing. So there's one last thing we just have to very quickly do. There we go. Okay. Alright, so we are good there. Urban! I was like, your band? No, Urban! Urban, thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate it. One of the things that you will all come to... one of the things that you will all come to know is that I am very bad at reading names. Okay? It is just a thing. I am very bad at reading names. There have been times where I look at a name and I'm like, how do I say that? And then like they'll say it in chat and I'm like, I really didn't understand those two simple words just put together. So that's me. That's me. So what we're going to be doing this afternoon for the next little bit is we're going to be hunting for a shiny Koffing. So just kind of show you guys, if you're not too familiar with shiny hunting or shiny Pokemon, essentially what a shiny Pokemon is it is just a different colored version. Let me actually go to the evolved form of what we're hunting right now. Let's go to Weezing here. So a shiny Pokemon is the exact same thing. It is just a different colored version, and they are much rarer to find. They are a little bit easier in general to find in Let's Go, just because of the way that the encounters work, and also having a much higher chance of catching them. So take this is Weezing, for example. So Koffing, who we're hunting for today, evolves into Weezing. This is what a regular Weezing looks like, but then this is what the shiny version of Weezing looks like. So it's a very different color scheme than the usual version. And they are, again, much rarer to find, and this is what we are going to be hunting for this afternoon. Now, the really cool thing about Let's Go specifically is when you find a shiny Pokemon in Let's Go, it will appear shiny in the overworld. So all these Pokemon, normally you would just run around like in a cave or in grass, and then, you know, like the screen would flicker and you would get an encounter. But in Let's Go, all the Pokemon appear in the overworld. And if you do find a shiny Pokemon, it will appear shiny in the overworld, and it will have a lot of gold sparkles around it. So it's really cool to see the shiny Pokemon actually in the overworld and in the environment in these games versus in the past games just, you know, doing an encounter and then hoping it's shiny. So, yeah, it's super cool. How have you never played a Pokemon game? They're so much fun. They are a blast. I love them. I've been playing the Pokemon games basically since they came out. I started with Blue. Pokemon Blue was my very first game. And then, so I had Blue, my brother had Red, and then he had Silver. He got Pokemon Silver. I did not get Gold at all until much later. I did eventually get Gold, but we kind of like played Pokemon Silver together. And then when Gen 3 came out, I got Sapphire, he got Ruby, excuse me, and then I also got Emerald. And then, yeah, he dropped off around the 4th generation. I also took a break between like Gen 5 and 6. I didn't play those games right when they came out, but then I got back into it, and then I went back and played the games that I missed. I didn't play them until a few years ago. What was the first one that you played, Petra? If I get a Switch, I think I will try Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield are looking to be absolutely amazing games. There are some people that, you know, they look at the news, they like to nitpick about certain things and like call out and be like, all these games are going to be horrible, or this feature is awful. Gamer Cam, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that. And yes, my follow alert is Celine Dion. It is. Okay, Moon. Okay. Pokemon Sun and Moon, I have mixed feelings on. They are... The generation itself has some really, really cool Pokemon. However, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, actually, the Sun and Moon games are some of the worst games in the series, just because of, like, the storyline is painful. You know, there's so much hand-holding in Sun and Moon. You know, like, there's waypoints on your map, which they never had before. You know, you do, like, one battle, and then your, like, rival friend comes up to you and is like, let me heal your entire team for you. It's like, they made the games incredibly, incredibly easy, and they took away any sort of challenge to them. So, you know... So I will agree with that, Petra. It does seem like they are good games to start with if you're new to the series. Like, they do help you out quite a bit. But for people that had been playing them for a while, it was a little disappointing to just see that much hand-holding. So we're gonna pop on another lure here to make Pokemon spawn more frequently. But it was sad that it didn't have gyms. Yeah, that was another big thing that people were not a fan of. They were like, I want the gyms. I don't want these, like, island trials. Like, they basically simulated gyms, but, like, we've always grown up with Pokemon having all these different gyms, and, you know, like, with the puzzles that you would have to solve, like, those were really cool, and it was kind of upsetting to see that those were not there in Sun and Moon. But it's nice that they're back in Sword and Shield. It was basically like they just have to bring back the gym system. Like, and I think it's cool that they've turned it into like a stadium kind of a thing, where it's not just, you know, like you just walk in, there's a dude standing at the back, like guy or girl, sorry, like standing at the back, and it's like, I'm the toughest challenger here. And then you have to beat them. I like how it's like a big stadium and like you've got lots of people that they like come to watch. Like they did them really, really cool. Hello, Dark Assassin. Welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing this afternoon? I've heard these games are really easy for RPG, which puts me off them, I think. Are you talking... Oh, Pokemon Let's Go, you mean, Cam? Okay, so the Let's Go games are very, very easy to progress through. There's not too much of a challenge. Petra, thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the Let's Go games are not overly difficult games to get through, mainly because they have, you don't have to battle the wild Pokemon. You just catch them kind of like you do in Pokemon Go. So they are a very different take on Pokemon games. And I feel like they did this so that they could bring in all the people that were playing Pokemon Go. They could attract them into the console versions of these games and then hook them with Sword and Shield, which is going to be a more traditional Pokemon game. But these games are very easy to progress through, again, because you don't have to battle the wild Pokemon. Once you get to a very specific area, you can just almost run to a near endgame spot and just catch a really, really strong Pokemon because you don't have to battle it. You can just catch it, and then it makes the rest of the game really, really easy. But it's a much, much cooler take, I feel, on a game. Like, it's super cool to see the Pokemon in the overworld like this, and we're going to see that in Sword and Shield as well. Right, gotta go, dude, but I'll leave a tab open. Urban, it was so nice to meet you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for that follow on our channel as well. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll catch you in a future stream and get to know you a little bit more. Alright, we're just gonna get rid of that. Thank you guys, by the way. Thanks. Alright, so let's run out. So, the shiny hunting in Let's Go, I mean, it is a much different approach. Dark Assassin, thank you so much for that follow. I really appreciate that. So yeah, the shiny hunting methods in Let's Go are a little bit different than in previous games. The biggest thing with Let's Go is that once you get a catch combo, so that you have the highest chance of a shiny appearing, it's essentially just a waiting game at this point. So what you typically do is, so my target right now is a Coughing, so I want to find a shiny Coughing. So what I want to do, and I'm just going to wait for a Coughing to appear in a second here. Here's a Coughing. So let's run into this Coughing for a quick second here. I'm just going to hide this other icon at the top so you can see it a little bit better. But see how in the top left corner it says Catch Combo 31? So, when you have a 31 catch combo on any Pokemon, you have the highest chance of a shiny Pokemon appearing. It increases your odds of seeing a shiny significantly. So, and then also, whatever Pokemon you chained, so for example, in this case, Coughing will have a much more likely chance to appear. So, right now, we've got a combo of 31 on Coughing, so it gives us the highest chance of seeing a shiny in general, but also because that combo is on Coughing specifically, we'll see Coughing spawn more frequently than anything else. Or what I should say is that Coughing has a much higher chance to spawn than anything else in here. Of course, RNG is a thing, so, you know, you can have a Coughing chain, and I can run in here and get 6 Voltorbs to spawn. It's definitely possible because RNG is such a lovely thing. But yeah, we just had like a double Coughing spawn there. That's because we've got the chain, or that's made more likely because we have the chain on Coughing specifically. And then it's, again, it's essentially just a waiting game. So this is a... Shiny hunting in general takes a lot of patience. It's definitely not something that's for everybody. This is one of the easier methods to do to find a shiny. There are some other methods that are much more painful to do. Basically, what you're hunting, you're going to have to use a different method because if you're hunting in a different game, for example, like different games have different methods as well. So if I want to go for something in, you know, like a Gen 6 or a Gen 7 game, I have to use one of the methods introduced in those games, for example. There's also, so if you want to go for like shiny legendaries, for instance, you do like a reset method. So in Let's Go, what you do is you encounter the legendary, and if it's shiny, obviously then you're set. If it's not shiny, you essentially shut off your game, and then you boot the game back up, and then you encounter it again to see if it's shiny. And you just repeat that process over and over again until you see your shiny legendary. So, most of you probably know this, but in the first generation, there's 4 legendaries. So, there's the Bird Trio, and then there's Mewtwo. So, we so far have caught all 3 of the legendary birds as shinies. We have our shiny Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. We've got all 3 of those. We still do not have our shiny Mewtwo yet because... So Mewtwo is Dex number 150, and we are going to make Mewtwo our grand finale shiny hunt. So Mewtwo will be the final shiny that we go for. Once we've caught all 149 others, we're going to head right over to Cerulean Cave, and we're going to wait there until we get our shiny Mewtwo. I think it's going to be a really cool finale to go out on shiny Mewtwo. It's partly why I'm saving it for the end. Also because it's number 150, and then it will also then be our 150th shiny in Let's Go, and I'm OCD, so that, you know, is nice. So yeah, it's, and we're getting really close. We do still have some annoying hunts left to do. So, actually, let me share you guys a link. Let me do this right quick. Here's the link to my Pokédex tracker right now for Pokemon Let's Go specifically. And in there, you can see all of the shinies that we have already caught, and anything that is not, like, doesn't have, like, a gold box around it, we still need. Now, there are the Alolands, okay? So the Alolands are in there because in these games you can catch, or you can trade for the Alolan form of certain Pokemon, which those were introduced in Gen 7. But we're not doing the Alolands because they're just a different form of a Pokemon that already exists in this game. They don't have a unique Dex entry, so we're not going to be worrying about them. Also, they are incredibly difficult hunts in this game, so we're not gonna worry about doing those. But we have 14 Pokemon left that we need to get as shiny. So Coughing is one of them. I then need an Abra and a Kadabra. We need Mewtwo, like we talked about already. I need Aerodactyl, which is the remaining fossil Pokemon that I need, which is going to be potentially a very annoying hunt. So we have those 5. I need one more Meowth. I need a Pinsir. I need an Execute and Executor. We need Kingler and Krabby. And then I need 3 Eevees total. So 1 for Eevee, and then 1 for a shiny Jolteon, and then for a shiny Flareon. And then that's it. Then we're done. It sounds a lot easier than what it actually is. Meowth can be a very, very, very difficult hunt just because of the amount of limited spawns that that you can have for Meowth. They are very, very annoying to come across. They can basically only spawn in one tiny little patch of grass. Sorry, like 2 tiny patches of grass. So it is a very, very... It can be a very, very annoying hunt. What's your favorite Pokemon game of all time? In all honesty, I would be... Okay, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. It's really hard to say specifically which one is my favorite of all time. So I'll give my top 3. I'll give my top 3. So my top 3 are Let's Go, Pokemon Emerald, and Pokemon Platinum. Those are my 3 favorite games of all time. Emerald was just a very, very good third game from Gen 3, where you could catch all the legendaries. They were... Oh, but you know what? I've got to put Heart Gold, Soul Silver in there. There's so many good ones. Okay, knock out Platinum and put in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Let's do that. Heart Gold and Soul Silver were DS remakes of Generation 2, and they were... You know what? Like, a lot of people say, and I agree, that they are the best remakes of all time. They were incredibly, incredibly good remakes for a lot of different reasons. They were so much fun to play, and yeah, so yeah. Let's Go, Emerald, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Those are my top 3 favorite games. So it's hard for me to pick specifically which one is my favorite of all of those. And then my favorite Pokemon of all time is Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is the Phoenix legendary from Generation 2. I absolutely love Ho-Oh. It also has a very, very, very nice shiny. It's just, yeah, it's just my favorite of all time, hands down. Fancy bird. Fancy bird. Yeah, it's got a hyphen in its name, Ho-Oh. Yeah, not like what Santa says at Christmas. Favorite is Poliwhirl. In these games, Poliwag is a very, very difficult hunt. But yeah, I really like Politoed as well. Politoed is what Poliwhirl can evolve into starting in the second generation. You give it a King's Rock and you trade it, and then it becomes Politoed instead. I love Politoed. It's such a cool Pokemon. It's got a really, really nice shiny as well. It's such a cool Pokemon. I'm hoping that that the Poliwag line will be in Sword and Shield. Because if it is, then I'll be going for another shiny Poliwag there, possibly, to then have a shiny Politoed. Politoed again, such a cool Pokemon, one of my favorites. It's weird because it's like people will say like, you know, like what are some of like your favorite Pokemon, or what are some of like, you know, your favorite shinies, and like the list always changes a little bit, you know, depending on like the day I'm asked, because it's like there's over 800 Pokemon. So it's sometimes so difficult to remember all of them. And it's like, you know, oh, I completely forgot about that one. Oh yeah, that one's in my favorites. So it's like, you know, it's a little tricky sometimes, and you know, the list changes every now and then. I can't remember if you could. I'm pretty sure Poliwag was in the Sun and Moon games. I think it was. It was. Yeah. Yeah. Love God knows. Love God knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm super excited for when Sword and Shield come out. What's your fave game all time in general? Favorite game of all time is Ocarina of Time. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I've done more start to finish playthroughs of that game than any other game. Absolutely love Ocarina of Time. I don't care what people say about it. It was perfect. It was a perfect game. There's no flaws with it whatsoever. I was just about to say Majora's Mask is also an amazing game. I really liked how at the end of Majora's Mask, like when, not like the end of like the story, but sorry, like the end of like the 3 days when like the moon is coming, I really like just what they did with the people in the in Clocktown. Like, you have people like freaking out, and you know like they've closed like their shops because like they want to be with like their family, you know, because like they're all terrified that this moon is about to crash into their city. And it's like they really captured, like, I mean, we all know what those characters look like, but you know, it was really cool to see just how well they showed like the fear in these people in this town. I just thought that they did a really cool job. It is kind of creepy walking around Clocktown at the end when like the moon's about to crash in, and you just see them all like freaking out and being with their family. But it was just a really cool touch that they added. And yeah, having the 3-day time limit, like you've got to do this in 3 days, was really cool. But for Ocarina of Time, have you guys heard of what's called the 3-Heart Challenge? I mean, it's not just unique to Ocarina of Time, but it's like a Zelda thing. But have you heard of the 3-Heart Challenge? So, the 3-Heart Challenge. So, when you start a Zelda game, whenever you start a Zelda game, you start off the game with 3 hearts. Yeah. So, throughout the entire game, you pick up no heart containers, no heart pieces. You go through the entire game only having 3 hearts. And the challenge is, it's essentially like a hardcore run. The challenge is to do it with the 3 hearts and having no deaths. That's the challenge. Not just playing through only having the 3 hearts and eventually getting to the end. The challenge is killing Ganon and having not died once. There's also some other rule. The other big rule is that you cannot use fairies. You can't use fairies. Because, you guys already know this, when you run out of hearts, the fairy comes out and it revives you, and it doesn't count on your game profile as a reset. You're not allowed to use fairies. So, I attempted the 3-heart challenge in Ocarina of Time, and I did it. Did it my first attempt. Basically what I did is I played through the game, picking up the heart containers, and the main parts that are really, really tricky in that game is mainly the water temple. The water temple is a very tricky location because of the final boss. So what I did was, I played through the game like normal, got to the water temple, and practiced that boss over and over and over again until I was perfect on that boss, not taking any damage at all, learned everything about that boss, knew exactly, where it, like how far you had to be when it, comes out and attacks you. Also, Dark Link is a very, very challenging fight as well in the Water Temple. So the Water Temple specifically is where a lot of people's runs end on the 3-heart challenge because of the no death rule. So I practiced the Water Temple over and over and over again, and I'm like, if I can nail the Water Temple, I should be able to do this. And so once I felt comfortable enough running the Water Temple and not dying, I'm like, all right, it's time to do this. And I started up a new profile, and on the very, very first run, we were able to do it. I still have that profile on my Ocarina of Time cartridge for my N64. And it just feels super cool to see everything on there, looking at it, seeing just the 3 hearts, and seeing zero deaths. It's a really, really cool thing to see. But yeah, it was really, really fun. I also had a lot of fun playing Mario 64. I tried. So this is actually something that people in my channel might not know about me. I tried to learn how to speedrun Super Mario 64. I tried to teach myself the 16-star speedrun on Mario 64. And I was able to complete the run. I was able to regularly complete the game with only getting the 16 stars. But in terms of actually doing it at a competitive time, no, I was not even close. What's that run? Never got big into Mario 64. So what that run is you start off the game, and you essentially get enough stars to battle the first Bowser. So the first Bowser, you only need to have 8 stars, and then you can battle the first Bowser. So what you do is you get 8 stars, you beat the first Bowser, and then you get the key. I'm just trying to remember as I'm saying it. You get the key from Bowser to unlock the top part of the castle. So you get to the top part of the castle, and then you need to get, I think it's 15 stars. Yeah, Petra, no worries. No worries. I think it's 15 stars that you need to get. And then you have to... Okay, crap. I'm just trying to remember exactly what you do. You get 15 stars. Oh, okay. This is it. You get 15 stars. Then you can get to the area of the castle where the second Bowser door is. And then you do this weird camera trick to get past the door that gives you, or that leads you to the second Bowser. Because normally you need 30 stars to get past that door to get to the world where you can beat, where you can encounter the second Bowser. So you do a little camera trick so that it just, glitches you through the door. And then you get the first star in that location to unlock the actual Bowser world. So that's where the 16th star comes from. So that is the 9th world, where it's a lot of underwater. You have to get the star on top of Bowser's submarine to unlock the second Bowser world. So that's where star 16 comes from. So then you beat the second Bowser, which gives you the key to the final area of the castle. And then you've got 16 stars. So what you then do is you do a running long jump glitch on the staircase, on 2 staircases. So in order to get to a location that has another star door, right? In order to get past that door, you need to have 50 stars. But what you can do is, if you long jump down the stairs, but you finish your long jump still on the staircase, and you spam the A button on the controller, it will basically, like, shoot you up the staircase. And because you're going so fast, you shoot through the star door, and you completely pass the trigger volume that checks if you have 50 stars or not. So you completely bypass that door. And then you go up to the very, very next door, which leads you to the final Bowser. And normally, it's an infinite staircase if you don't have 70 stars. But you do the exact same trick again, and it shoots you through the trigger volume. That checks if you have the right amount of stars. And then you're good. I'm just gonna pause here for a second. Seriously? Okay. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. The the upload just completely tanked for like a few seconds. It's good now. It's good now. I was freaking out beforehand because my internet is like, it's been stable for a long time, but it always like gives those little hiccups. I ran a speed test before we started, and it was beautiful. It was perfect. So, not sure why that little dip happened, but it's stabilized now, and we're good. We're good. But yeah, so then you do the running long jump thing again, and it shoots you through the trigger volume that checks if you have 70 stars or not. And what that volume does is it essentially, that's the volume that makes the staircase infinite. It just basically always teleports you back, so you're not running forever. But you can long jump glitch past that trigger volume and get to the final Bowser, and then you beat him with only having 16 stars. So that's the 16-star speedrun. People could probably complete it faster than it took me to explain it. But yeah, that's, so I tried to teach myself that. Like I said, I was able to do it a few times, but nowhere near fast enough to like compete for like, you know, records or anything like that. But it was cool to be able to do it. So it was actually funny. I did that when I was still living at home with my parents before I got married. And so my mom used to play Super Mario 64 with us when we were kids. And, you know, we played that game right to the very end. We got all 120 stars. We got to the top of the castle. We found Yoshi, all of that. So we played that game a lot together when my brother and I were younger with my mom. So when I learned how to do this speedrun, I called her down. I called her to the basement, and I'm just like, hey, check out, I just beat Mario 64. She's like, oh, cool, yeah, we used to do that a lot when we were kids. I'm like, yeah, I know, but look at the star count. She's like, wait, you only have 16. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, didn't you used to need a lot more to be able to do that? I'm like, yeah. She's like, so wait, how did you do it? I'm like, I'm a wizard. But no, I told her, I'm like, yeah, there's a way that you can, like, bug through and glitch the game so that you can only get 16 stars, and then there's a way that you can complete it. She's like, and then her reaction was, well, that takes the fun out of it. I'm like, yes and no. Like, it kind of does, because you bypass so much of the game, but it puts a new level of fun in it, because you're able to, you know, do it in a way that not everybody knows how to do it. And even being able to know how to do it doesn't mean you're going to be able to necessarily do it yourself. So it was pretty cool to have learned how to do that. So I just want to do something super, super quick. Hopefully, I'm just going to hang tight here for, like, in this area for just a quick second. I'm just gonna run from this coughing. I'm just going to zip on over into my chat and just make sure that that person that popped in earlier is already locked out of my channel. Just because I don't want to have to deal with that later this evening when I'm streaming with wifey. Here we go. All right, that's done and taken care of now. All right, we're good. Breaking the game is its own kind of fun. Oh, it is. It is. And especially for me. So, some of you... Actually, I haven't mentioned this yet on stream. So, if you're here from my channel, you will know this. But for the new friends that we've made today that don't know this yet, I work for Ubisoft. And I am a tester for Ubisoft. So it is literally my job to break games. So it is lots of fun. It is so much fun to do that on a daily basis. Yeah, honestly, it's a dream. It's a dream job come true. It's a legit dream job. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. We the first title that I shipped with them was Far Cry 5. That was the first title that had my name on it in the credits. So it was super cool. Like once the game shipped, like my mom was all excited for me, and she was like, "Send me the credits, I want to see." So I sent her the link to the video because there's a separate credits video on YouTube that just has the credits. And she waited through the entire video to find my name under the Toronto section. And then she like took like a little screenshot of it and she sent it to like all our family. She's like, "Look, it's my son's name." It was so much fun. Like working on it was a lot of fun. I couldn't really play it too much afterwards, like in my own personal time, just because I'd spent so much time playing it, you know, like at work. But it was honestly, it was such a fun game to work on. It was such a fun game to work on. We got to meet the voice actor. So the voice actor that did the voice of Joseph Seed, the father, he came to the launch party of the game that my studio had. So we got to meet the voice actor of the father. I got some pictures taken with him too. It was really, really cool. He's a super nice guy. You know, like, because normally, like, when you meet, like, a voice actor of a character, it kind of feels like you're meeting the character, not so much the person that just does the voice. And so it's like, wait, no, you're not the actual character. You're the person that does the voice. And so I was, like, having this impression that I'm going to meet, like, you know, Joseph Seed. And it's like, no, wait, you're the guy, you're the voice actor for him. And it's like, yeah, like... Greg Brick, the father. So yeah, it was cool. How many hours did you spend testing it? Oh. I started at the company a year and 2 months before it came out, and I spent that entire time working on that project. So about 13-ish months or so I spent on it. So yeah, it was a really, really cool experience. I loved doing it. You know, I still like love my job. I'm actually working my way up into the team lead position right now. So we're working towards more so the management side of the testing department rather than staying as a tester myself. Not that I don't love testing. I absolutely love, you know, doing the testing. But I also really, really enjoy the management side of things. So that's where we are working towards right now. So yeah, it's fun. It's been a journey, but you know, it's been a blast. It's been a blast. So this coming January will actually be 3 years. The end of January, I should say, actually. The end of January will be 3 years of me being with Ubisoft Toronto. And looking forward to many, many more years to come. I've done one work trip so far. They sent me out to the Montreal studio for a little bit. I spent a little bit of time working on Starlink Battle for Atlas. I did a little bit of... I stuck around a little bit for a little bit of overtime to work on and do some playthroughs of Starlink Battle for Atlas. So that was cool to test. Welcome back, Petra. Welcome back. And yeah, I'm currently working on an unannounced project, so I can't say what I'm working on yet. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool. I honestly, like, I love my job. Love my job, love the company. This was like the dream job for me when like I started to be like, I want to get into the video game industry. So for me, Ubisoft opened up, well, just in general, Ubisoft opened up the Toronto studio back in 2010. And as soon as they opened up that studio, I'm like, that's where I'm headed. I will get there one day. So, I'm like, I will get there at some point. And I made it there in 2017. So it's kind of funny how the whole thing came about. I met somebody at a job fair for a different studio. And they were married to somebody that works at Ubisoft. And so I met this person at a job fair, gave them, like my resume and all that stuff, because it's what you do at job fairs. He basically went home, and apparently I made such a good impression on him that he took all my stuff and basically just gave it to his wife and said, you guys take this guy. He's good. Take him. And then they called me up. It was so funny. So this was back when I was, kind of like in my initial run of streaming on Twitch. I was in the middle of a stream, and I look down at my phone starts ringing. I'm like, I'll just let it, go to voicemail. But I glance over to see if like I recognize the number that's calling me, and all my phone says is it just says Ubisoft. And I'm like, they're calling me. I'm like, I'm taking this call. So I paused the stream for a second. I'm like, I've got to take this. And yeah, then the rest is history. Hope it's Beyond Good and Evil 2. I can confirm it's not. That's not what I'm working on right now. All I can say is that it is an unannounced project. Beyond Good and Evil 2 has been announced. So it's unfortunately... Those don't line up, unfortunately. Yeah, so if a game has been announced from the company, then I am allowed to say if I am working on it or not. Obviously, I still am not allowed to discuss, like specifics. But if the company has come out and said we are working on whatever title, then I'm allowed to say, okay, that is what I am working on. But yeah, it's like so many people just want to know what I'm working on, and it's like I can't talk about it. But it's like as soon as I can. As soon as I can talk about it, like, I'll be letting friends know. Blink twice if it's Beyond Good and Evil 2. Are you just gonna, like, watch my eyes and wait until I have blinked twice and be like, confirmed? All right, so not gonna blink. Well, I literally just said not gonna blink, and then I blinked. Okay, we're not gonna blink for the rest of the stream. The biggest fear about like shiny hunting in these games is, so because you see the shiny in the overworld, is having, so like, yeah, the biggest fear is having the shiny spawn like right when you hit the door to go out or to like change locations, because then everything that's on screen right now disappears. It's gone. I've had it happen to me a couple times. I think it's only happened once on stream, but I do hunt like off stream as well. It's happened to me once or twice off stream, but definitely once on stream. I was hunting for shiny Paris in Mount Moon, and the shiny Paris appeared, and then like half a second later I hit the ladder to reset the area, and right as like I hit the ladder and like the screen was fading away, I'm like, oh no, there it is, and it was gone. So yeah, it definitely hurt a little bit to just see that the shiny was there and then it was gone. And then the thing that made it worse is then I spent another 2 days hunting to get a replacement one, pretty much. So it was like, those were 2 days that I could have spent hunting something else. But yeah, I was able to reclaim it afterwards, so it wasn't that bad. I just want to, like, because we're getting super close to the release date of Sword and Shield, I want to do my best at not failing anything. Correct, Petra. But what you can do is you can put the Switch to sleep. You can put the Switch into sleep mode, and then your combo will stay. But if you close the game, or if you, like, power off your Switch, the combo's gone. Yo, Ken Man, hey, bud. Yeah, that's right. So you can't play another game until you finish your combo. How are you doing this afternoon, Ken Man? Oh, and also, so Ken Man will know this, but Chansey here, this freaking Chansey, it appears everywhere. Basically, every single route in the game, almost, Chansey can appear. So the amount of shiny Chanseys that we have seen when going for our whatever our target is, very, very frustrating. Because we already have Chansey. And we will need a second one to get a shiny Blissey. But I'm not concerned about that right now. I am not concerned about a shiny Blissey right now. Shiny Chansey everywhere. I know. Shiny Chansey's everywhere. It's like a meme in these games. You know, shiny Chansey. What other games am I hyped for? So apart from Sword and Shield, because we've talked about that, you know, quite a bit already, I am very excited for the sequel to Breath of the Wild. I'm very, very excited for that. I loved Breath of the Wild. It was a beautiful, beautiful game. Amazingly done. Very, very logical, too. And, you know, I had an absolute blast with Breath of the Wild, so I am super, super excited for the sequel to it. So, Breath of the Wild 2, I'm trying to think of what else. I never played any of the Luigi's Mansion games. I never played any of those. But I am thinking of potentially borrowing a copy of Luigi's Mansion and trying it out. If I like it, then I might pick it up for myself. I'll also like wait to see, you know, some of my other streamer friends play it first, because there's quite a few people I know are really, really looking forward. Are are really, really looking forward to Luigi's Mansion. So I'll definitely have there will definitely be no shortage of people streaming Luigi's Mansion 3. So I'll be able to see a lot of gameplay of it before I make the decision if I'm gonna drop the $80 on it or not. Procrastinating the weekend cleaning, same, Ken man, same. So we're actually going to be streaming again this evening. Okay, we're going to be back streaming again this evening, but my wife is going to be on stream with us tonight too. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be doing again more shiny hunting tonight. If we catch the shiny coughing, so if we catch the shiny coughing today, like on this stream, or later this evening, the next shiny that we're going to start hunting for, or resume, is Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is the last fossil shiny that we need to get. So as soon as we get the shiny coughing, to finish off the coughing wheezing line, we're going to go over to Cinnabar Island, and we're going to do resets for the shiny Aerodactyl. And I will actually have to flip games because I'm doing the shiny Aerodactyl hunt in Let's Go Pikachu, and we're playing Let's Go Eevee right now. Because coughing is an Eevee exclusive. Grimer is the Let's Go Pikachu exclusive. So we'll just very quickly have to flip games. It will not take me long at all. And then we'll boot up Let's Go Pikachu, and we will resume our shiny Aerodactyl hunt. So that's the plan. Wifey stream hype. I mean, Rynot hype. Hey, no, I like that you guys like when Wifey is on stream, because then it's easier for me to tell her, like, hey, like, why don't you come, not tell her, but, like, ask her if she wants to hang out on stream, because it's like, you guys like seeing her there, you guys like chatting with her, so she's, she likes, like, knowing that she feels welcomed in the stream, and it's not like, just sit here with me. So together, we actually just passed 5 years total together, but we've been married for about a year and a half. We got married May the 4th of last year. So yeah, so we've been married for about a year and a half, but together for about 5 years total. And we met working together. That is how we met. We used to work together, and then one thing led to another, and then huzzah, married. Definitely was, Gaia. Definitely was. So funny enough, that day we had 90km/h winds. It was incredibly windy. So yeah, you could say there was, the force was with us. The wind force. But, okay, so actually, because of how windy it was that day, that led to our luggage getting delayed for our honeymoon. So, basically what happened was, we left for our honeymoon the day after the wedding, and our flight was sometime like mid-afternoon. So we get over to the airport, we check in our baggage and everything, and we get on the plane, and I dressed comfortably for the plane. It was about a 3-hour flight. We flew from Toronto to Newfoundland. We went to Newfoundland for our honeymoon. So it was about a 3-ish hour flight, so I'm like, I want to be comfortable. So I dressed, in like a light sweater and shorts. I was like, I'm going to be comfy for the plane ride. So we get on the plane. Plane takes off. Plane lands in Newfoundland. The landing itself. All right, let me talk about the landing first. So, if you've never been to Newfoundland, or if you're not familiar with Newfoundland, it is very, very east. It is incredibly far east. It's the easternmost, capital city in Canada, and it's right on the ocean. It is right on the ocean. So they get a lot of rain, wind, and fog. So the day that we landed in Newfoundland was incredibly foggy. It was so foggy that for the final 15 minutes of the flight, as we were like doing our descent down into St. John's, sorry, St. John's is the capital city. Newfoundland is the province, not the capital. So as we were landing in St. John's, the final like 10 to 15 minutes of the flight was so foggy that me sitting in my window seat, we were right at the wing. I couldn't see the engine of the plane for the last like 15 minutes of the descent. Like, that is how foggy it was. It was absolutely crazy. That is just like, where did the engine go? So it was a little freaky. And then almost out of nowhere, there was like still completely foggy, can't see a damn thing. There was like a big like rattle and shake. I'm like, this is it. Like I love you, wifey. And it was like, we're on the runway. And I'm like, I barely saw trees. And we're now on the ground safe. I'm like, how on earth did they do this? So, like, if you can land in St. John's, Newfoundland, you can land anywhere. So, like, St. John's, Newfoundland, and Chicago, from what I've heard, they're some of the two worst places in North America to land. But we made it safe. And so then, we get off the plane. We're like, all right, let's go get our luggage. Let's taxi over, let's get to the hotel. We're all good. So, we go down to the baggage claim area. And three laps of baggage comes through. And we haven't seen our luggage. We're like, okay, our luggage is not here. And so I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be a fourth, round of new bags that comes through. So the baggage carousel keeps going, and then the baggage carousel stops. We still hadn't gotten our luggage. And I look at my wife, I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So we couldn't find our luggage at all. So we're like, okay. We start going through, the carousels for some of the other flights. It's like maybe they put it on, a wrong carousel by mistake. Cannot find our baggage anywhere. So we're like, all right, they lost our luggage. Great. So we go over to the baggage claim area, and we talk to the guy that was behind the counter, and we're like, yeah, we just landed, our bags are not here, when we go to file, like the report. And he says, he's like, all right, well, what was your flight number? Like, where did you fly in from? That kind of a thing. And we're like, we flew in from Toronto. And as soon as we said that, he's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, okay, but can you make it make sense to me? He was like, well, Toronto was apparently really windy last night. So that's why you don't have your luggage. And I look at the dude, I'm like, so my luggage blew away? Like, please explain the connection here. I don't get how it being windy translates to my bags not making it onto the plane. But he didn't explain it to me. He's just like, yeah, it was windy in Toronto last night, so your bags didn't get on the plane. And he's like, they're likely going to be on a later flight. He's like, there's 2 more flights coming in from Toronto this evening. So he's like, there's a flight that lands at 9:30, and there's a flight that lands at 1 a.m., both from Toronto. So your bags will be on one of those 2 planes. And so we're like, okay. So he got all the information for where we were staying, and he's like, when your luggage comes in, we'll taxi it over to your hotel for you. So we're like, okay, cool, thank you. So now, keep in mind, remember what I wore on the plane. A light sweater and shorts. When we landed in Newfoundland, it was 3 degrees Celsius, rainy and windy. So I am freezing. And my logic was, I'll just change when we land, because I'll get my luggage, we'll go to the hotel, I'll put pants on. No luggage. So I couldn't do that. So I was stuck walking around downtown St. John's, 3 degrees Celsius, in the rain, with shorts. And it was funny. Like, now it's funny. Back then I was freezing and miserable. But it's funny because all the local people were looking at me, and it was kind of like they would look at us as we were walking past each other, like downtown, and you could almost just see every single one of them be like, foreigners, like, you're not from here. So it's like we stood out. Like, it was obvious we were not from around there. So we yeah, dang tourists. So yeah, we were like, you know what? We don't have any of our luggage. We have none of our personal hygiene stuff. So we just looked at each other and we were like, I want a restaurant that reminds me of home tonight. So we went for we found a Boston Pizza in downtown St. John's. So we just went to Boston Pizza for dinner that night. And then by the time we had finished dinner, we were like, okay, the first flight from Toronto would have just landed, like 10 minutes ago. Hopefully our luggage was on there. So we just basically went back to the hotel in our stinky airplane clothes, and, we just waited for our luggage. And, it was finally around like 11:30 at night. We hadn't gotten a call from the airport or the front desk saying that our luggage had shown up. So we were like, you know what? It's most likely not here. It's probably on the 1 a.m. flight, so let's just go to bed. So we woke up to a call at 9:30 in the morning from the front desk saying, hey, your luggage showed up a couple of hours ago. We didn't want to ring you at like 7 o'clock in the morning and wake you up. Your bags are here. We'll have somebody bring them up to you. And I was like, okay, thank you. Hung up the phone, woke up my wife. I'm like, they've got our bags. So they brought the bags up. Finally able to, get out of our stinky airplane clothes. And it just made the rest of the trip much nicer that, we've got our bags. Because the biggest concern was that the bags were, not that they just didn't make it on the plane, but that the bags were actually lost. And I'm like, that's all my clothes. So I'm like, I really don't want to have to, buy my whole new wardrobe here in Newfoundland. So I would have, gone home with all these, I Heart Canada shirts. Not that I have anything wrong with, with that, but it's that would have been my whole new wardrobe, was all these tourist shirts from my own country. So yeah, it made for an interesting trip. It made for an interesting trip. Yeah, fashion would have been on point. Fashion would have been on point. So yeah, it was interesting to say the least. All right, let's see if this coughing wants to shine for us. Be pretty nice if it could. Just to give you guys an idea, the rough odds right now of having a shiny Pokemon appear in general are 1 in 273. So every 273 Pokemon, one of them should be shiny. Of course, those are just odds. It's not guaranteed. So a shiny Chansey would be great timing right now. Yeah, I have a feeling that there is going to be a shiny Chansey before we see a shiny Coughing. But speaking of Chansey, there you are. Not a shiny one though, but it would be nice if we did have a shiny appear just at all today. That would be cool to see. Specifically a shiny Coughing. Specifically shiny Coughing, obviously, because that's our target. But yeah, that would be nice. That would be pretty nice. Exclamation point shiny. Yeah, bring on the shinies. Bring on the shinies. So I've actually, so the sub goal that's here below me here, so once we hit the 50 sub mark, that unlocks the final tier 1 emote slot for the channel. And my plan for that emote is to do a shiny version of my logo and put some gold sparkles around it so that whenever we see a shiny appear in game, we can have chat just spam the shiny emote. And I've actually been thinking of just getting it commissioned so that I have it ready to go, so that if and when we hit the 50 sub goal, I can just immediately go into Twitch and submit the emote, and I don't have to wait for the, you know, the emote to come in. So I've been thinking of just commissioning the emote now, so that I've got it ready to go. But then obviously it's like, we then still have to hit the sub goal, you know, in order to unlock the slot for it. But shiny golden bag of milk. So it's actually going to be, Ken Man, it's going to be chocolate milk. It's going to be chocolate milk, like a bag of chocolate milk with gold sparkles around it. That's my idea, at least. That's my idea. But then I'm thinking of asking. So I'm gonna be asking Andrea to do this logo to do this emote for me, because she's the one that did my channel logo. So it just makes the most sense to have her then also do that emote as well. So I'm gonna ask her to do the bag, like see if we can do the bag outline in almost like maybe like a gold color, because like, if it's a black outline, it'll be a little bit trickier to see on a bag that's got like brown chocolate milk in it. So we'll see that. We'll see how that works. I love those RPG emotes. They're so cool. We unfortunately, we never got the potions or the epic sword, but we did get the full the fat loot box, which is a super cool one. So I'm happy to have that. And yeah, and we got the broken sword as well. We got ourselves the broken sword. The ghost. Yes, I love the ghost. The ghost is awesome. If you got the ghost, if you got the RPG ghost emote, spam the ghost for Halloween. Maybe that'll bring us some shiny luck. I mean, coughing's not a ghost, but maybe with the season, it'll bring us some shiny luck. So Gaia, what have you been up to lately, bud? What have you been up to lately? I only got the potion one? Ah, that's okay. I think I have that one too, RPG. Yeah, we got that one as well. We have the Fireball. The Fireball is a really cool one too. Just in general, like, they were very cool emotes. I'm slogging through trying to get the Shiny Charm in Ultra Sun. Gaia, if you need help with some specific trades, let me know. I already have my Shiny Charm in Ultra Sun. So, if you need some help with, you know, catching some stuff, just let me know. Just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you fill that. Because I have the entire living dex from Gens 1 through 7 in the Pokemon Bank on my DS. So it's super easy for me to get the Shiny Charm in any DS game, because I have everything I need. I just got to transfer them down into the game, and then transfer them back to the bank. But yeah, I will definitely help you out with getting that Shiny Charm if you need at any time, Gaia. You just let me know, and we'll be out there catching whatever it is you need. Oh, are none of these vortexes available right now? Does not look like it. That's kind of unfortunate. We can get these in other locations, so let's just do that. How close are you, Gaia, to getting the Shiny Charm in Ultra Sun? See, these are the spawns that I like. You're in the room for like 5 seconds and everything has spawned, and then you can just go out. Makes the reset super quick. And then you get times like this, where they take forever to appear. And then these are the times where it's like, I go to leave, and then, like, something spawns right as I try to leave the room. The other thing is like, I don't want to walk too far up the room, because if I walk too far up the room, I can have stuff spawn on the other side of this wall here, and it'll be very tricky to see it. And if the shiny happens to appear up there, and then just go up top and off screen, then I'll miss it completely. Yeah, door fails. Yeah, we were talking earlier, Ken Man, about the shiny Paris fail. What I'm gonna do, I hope you guys are totally cool with this. I'm gonna grab a, if you're okay, I'm just gonna grab a clip from the channel. I'm gonna grab our most popular clip and share that with you all if you guys are cool with that. This is the chat favorite clip. That is by far the favorite clip on my channel. My chat loves seeing that. I'll give you some context as to why I got that excited after you guys... Yeah, exactly, Ken Man. I'll give you some context to that in a second as to why I got that excited over that shiny Hitmonlee. By the way, Ken Man, thank you for clipping that when we did get it. It's like a perfectly timed clip. So the reasoning behind why we got so excited over that Hitmonlee was, while I was doing that hunt, I had seen 4 shiny Hitmonchans before I had seen the Hitmonlee. Every time I went to try to get the Hitmonlee, I would find a Hitmonchan or a different shiny that I would still need, so I would, catch it. But it was like, I was spending so much time on that Hitmonlee, and then when it finally appeared for us, I was just like, it's over, this hunt is done. So it was just a really big just sigh of relief to see that shiny appear. And then, of course, while it appeared, I'm like, okay, this thing can be really annoying to catch, so I just really hope I don't fail it. But we didn't. We caught it. First ball, we got it. So I was, needless to say, I was incredibly happy that we caught that. All right, that vortex is going to open up shortly here. Let's see some stuff spawn, please. Then you get times like that where, like, literally nothing spawns. You know? RNG, gotta love it. Just gotta absolutely love it. Oh, thank you, Dark. Appreciate that. So yeah, you can do a synchronized throw. So Let's Go only requires one Joy-Con to play. You don't need like both of them to form like a full controller. So you can do, so let me show you. So if I shake the second Joy-Con, I get a partner spawn in, and then, they can like walk around with me. And then when you get into an encounter, you have two throws. So you can both throw at the same time, and you can do like a synchronized a synchronized throw, and if both of the balls hit the Pokemon at the same time, you then have an increased chance of catching that Pokemon. So on shinies, a lot of people, even if they're just playing by themselves, they'll like shake their second Joy-Con to bring in the second ball, and then they'll do like a synchronized throw to catch what they're going for. Because the thing with Pokemon in Let's Go is, so in your standard Pokemon game, when you encounter a wild Pokemon in like a regular area, it won't run from you. It's never gonna run from you. So you can like take your time at it. But in Let's Go, as soon as you attempt to throw a ball or feed it a berry, the Pokemon then has the ability to run from you. Sometimes it will take, you know, like a few minutes before it decides it's gonna run. Sometimes it'll take like 10 seconds, and then it's like, I'm out of here. So as soon as you make that first throw, if the first throw doesn't catch it, you then gotta be really quick because you don't know how much time you're gonna have. But until you make that first throw, the Pokemon will never, ever attempt to run from you. So I could encounter a shiny Pokemon, not feed it a berry, not throw a ball at it, and just set my Joy-Con down, and it will stay on screen as long as I let it. But as soon as I interact with it at all, I can then lose it. Let's do that. Sometimes like the gas around just like a normal coughing, like if I'm just seeing it like down here and like I can just see the gas at the bottom, it's like, wait, no, okay, no sparkles. We'll hop out and reset. Let's reset. So we've got, what is it, about 20 days now? About 20 days until Sword and Shield come out. So we've got 20 days to get 14 shinies. So we're cutting it really close. We are cutting it super close. Hopefully we can get it. Hopefully this ain't gonna, you know. Yeah, grind time for sure. For sure. Oh, thank you, Ken, man. Thank you. Yeah, not that he's keeping track or anything. So yeah, we're pretty much spending any time that I can with my Switch turned on, going for some shiny. There's some of them are not going to be super difficult. It's just a matter of timing. I'm not, honestly, like, coughing is not a difficult shiny to catch, and you can go through coughing encounters pretty quickly, so I'm not concerned about this one. Execute and Executor, I'm not all that concerned about either, because you can get a lot of them on screen at once. The only thing with them is that there's not really a convenient way to reset the area, so you just basically just gotta fly on your Charizard, and just wait, essentially. Pinsir won't be... I'm not overly concerned about Pinsir, because, again, there's a way that you can reset the area for Pinsir. Meowth is going to be a difficult hunt. Meowth, I talked about this earlier, Meowth has a very limited area that it can spawn in. So you go through Meowth encounters at a very, very slow rate. Eevee has the potential to be slightly annoying. Eevee is a difficult Pokemon to catch, but the area that you hunt Eevee in, there is a very, very, very large patch of grass. So you have a lot of encounters flowing, which is nice. But Eevee still has the potential to be annoying, especially because I need 3 more Eevees still. So yeah, we'll see. Krabby and Kingler, they can be a little annoying because they don't have a large area, again, that they can spawn in. But there is a way that you can do a door reset for them, so there's the potential for them to be not too bad. It is possible that they can be annoying, so that's just one that I am keeping in mind. Abra and Kadabra, again, those have a door reset, so they can be okay. The thing with Abra, though, in this game is that if you walk in front of an Abra, the Abra will teleport away. So, depending on how the Abra spawns and what position it's facing, you might lose the shiny before you even encounter it and have the chance to catch it. So that's just something to be mindful of whenever I go for Abra, is that I just have to be careful with how I approach it. I have already caught 1 Abra, so I just need to do 2 more. What kind of stuff do I got behind me? Okay, so a lot of stuff that's behind me. There's a lot of Marvel Funko Pops and Marvel figures. So in this shelf right here, this one here, when Infinity War came out, they put out a chrome version of Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and they did 6 different colors, 1 of each of the colors of the Infinity Stones. So there was 6 chrome Thanos pops, 1 of each color of the stones. I have all 6 of those there. There's also the 4 on the end of that shelf. For the 10th anniversary of Marvel Studios, they released a lot of gold chrome pop figures. So there's some on there. There's a Doctor Strange, there's an Iron Spider, I have an Ant-Man, a Black Panther, and a Thor, I think. I think those are the 5 gold ones that I have. I've got a gold Tony one. Yeah, like the 10th anniversary gold ones are beautiful. There's also... so these ones are not in the boxes. Some of them I keep in the boxes, some of them I just take out of the box. There's a whole series of Venomized characters. So there's some of them that I have. There's a Venomized Storm, a Venomized Groot, Venomized Captain America, Wolverine X-23. What else is back there? Loki, Iron Man, and then I have a Venomized Thanos as well, which is super, super cool. Right here. Yeah, right here. This is a, well, obviously, if you know Marvel, you can tell this is Mysterio. My wife got me this Mysterio figure for my birthday. It's from Diamond Select. So it's a pretty big one. But I absolutely love it. It's super, super cool. I love collecting the Funko Pops. If you guys want to see any of them up close, just ask. I don't mind, grabbing them and bringing them up close. I'm not the kind of person where it's like they're on the shelf, no one touches them ever. So yeah, if you guys want to see any of them, a little bit closer, then just ask. I'm totally cool with it. Oh, I loved Far From Home. I loved Far From Home. Mysterio has been one of my favorite Spider-Man villains for a long time, and it was so cool to see him finally get a place in the MCU. So, and I feel they did his character very, very well. I think Jake Gyllenhaal was a great actor to play Mysterio. So I was so happy to finally see Mysterio come into the MCU. I thought it was super cool. Hey, Sudden Death, how's it going? Yeah, the movie was amazing. I loved it. The post-credit scenes, the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene. I'm hoping you guys saw those scenes. I was so happy. I was so happy that they used the exact same guy to play J. Jonah Jameson. There's nobody else, like, there is literally nobody else that can play that character. I was so happy. And it's funny because, like, when that scene played, you could tell which people in the theater saw the original Spider-Mans and those that didn't, because the people that saw the original Spider-Mans, as soon as he appeared on screen, everybody just started clapping and cheering, and certain people in the theater were like, what? Like why? Yeah, it was great. Oh, it was so good. I didn't like Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker. I'm sorry, I didn't like Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker. My favorite Peter Parkers in order are Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. Them fighting words. Yeah, depending on who says. Sudden Death, I am doing great. I'm having a great afternoon so far. How's your weekend been so far? How has your weekend been so far? And then, like, I had to explain to my wife too. She's just like, wait, why are you clapping? I'm like, I'll tell you later. Okay, so here's my question to you folks. What do you think they were setting up with the video from Mysterio, making it look like Spider-Man killed Mysterio and his identity has been revealed? What do you think they're trying to set up in the MCU? With Spider-Man specifically. I have an idea, but I want to see what you guys think first. Spider-Man multiverse? Okay. See, I'm interested to see what Ken Man thinks. Obviously, and everybody as well, but I'm really curious to see what Ken Man thinks they were setting up with that. Oh, sorry, Petra. What I was asking was, what do you think that they were trying to set up in the MCU with that mid-credit scene involving Spider-Man and Mysterio, where now Spider-Man identity is known, and he made it look like Spider-Man killed Mysterio, or was going to kill Mysterio? So me neither, Ken, man. My guess is not coming from a comic standpoint. My guess is just coming from something else that I had seen them do before. Now, I could be incredibly far off. I'm not saying this because I have a feeling that I am, like, definitely right. Maybe a Hail Hydra thing again. I thought that was so funny in Endgame when Captain America's on the elevator and is like having flashbacks to what happened in Winter Soldier, and he just leans over to the one dude and he's just like, "Hail Hydra," and they just let him walk off the elevator. I thought that was so funny. Alright, something about where he is no longer loved by the people, so he's got to find who he is alone. That kind of... Okay, that kind of goes in line with... Oh, 100% agree, Ken, man. Yeah, it was definitely an applaud moment. That kind of goes in line with what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking they're possibly trying to do is I think they are using that as a way to possibly introduce Venom into the MCU. Because if you remember back to the first 3 Spider-Man movies, in Spider-Man 3, part of what drove part of what drove Peter Parker into the whole black suit Spider-Man was he was being hated by the people. People were hating Spider-Man. And that really drove him to embrace the whole symbiote and embrace the black suit Spider-Man. So I'm thinking that that's what they're gonna do, and they're going to then use this as a time to introduce Venom, to introduce the symbiote, and then Spider-Man is then going to the people are gonna be hating him, so it's even more motivation to embrace the symbiote and embrace the black suit Spider-Man mantra. That's just my theory. That's just my guess. I could be so far off base here. But that's just what I'm thinking they are trying to do. Or that's the avenue that they are leaving open as a possibility. So yeah, they will. They definitely will, because that Venom movie has no connection to the MCU at all. Sony wants to, that is a completely separate version of Venom. They want to keep that separate. They want to have that as they want to do Venom as like an anti-hero with that series. And there are still plans to be a Venom 2, because at the end of the Venom movie, we get introduced to Cletus Cassidy and Carnage. So they do want to set up a sequel to that where we get Carnage. But I think that they will do like an MCU version of Venom. Oh, yo, okay. Not the one we're looking for, but there is a shiny on screen. Not what we're going for. But see, it's perfect. There's a regular Electabuzz next to the shiny. And you see the gold sparkles around it? There's what a shiny looks like in the overworld. So there we go. We're not going to catch it because we already have all the Electabuzz that we need. So we just let it go. But yeah, there's a shiny. There was a shiny. Look at the yeah, it's like Electabuzz just got head first into a bag of Cheetos. So yeah, it's super, super cool that you get to see them shiny in the overworld like this. And you get like those nice sparkles around everything. So that's kind of what I want to do like with the emote. So I basically want to take that whole idea of shininess and apply that to my logo, and that will be the 5th emote. So yeah, that's my whole idea. That's the whole kit and caboodle right there. Run away. Why don't we just do this? This will be a little easier. I think it also would be super cool to see a wild shiny Electrode. I've got both my my shiny Voltorbs, but just seeing a wild shiny Electrode roll around, I think that'd be pretty cool to see. But it is nice that we did already spot one shiny. So we'll hopefully see another one. Hopefully we'll see another one appear for us. And hopefully this time it'll be coughing. And then we'll move on over to the Aerodactyl fossils. The fossils are less of an enjoyable hunt. Basically what you do is you just turn in the fossils. You just go to the dude on Cinnabar Island that takes the fossil and gives you the Pokemon. You just keep turning in the fossils until one of them that you get back is shiny. But the thing with the fossils, so you know how I was saying earlier that the rough odds of getting a shiny with this method is 1 in 273. When you are doing the fossils, okay, when you're turning in the fossils, your odds of the fossil being shiny are 1 in 4,096. So way, way lower of a chance to get a fossil shiny. Now, we have... So in order to do the living dex, you need to get five shinies from fossils. So the fossil Pokemon from Generation 1 are Omanyte, Kabuto, and then Aerodactyl. Omanyte and Kabuto can both evolve. So if you're doing a living dex, you need to get 2 shiny Omanytes so that you can evolve one of them, and then 2 shiny Kabutos so that you can evolve one of them. Right now, we've done 4 of the 5 fossil shinies. I have my 2 Omanytes and I have my 2 shiny Kabutos. So we just need the Aerodactyl and then we'll have all of the fossil shinies done. And we got very, very lucky on 3 of those 4 fossil shinies that we already have. We got them very, very fast. We got them all in under half odds. So the very first Omanyte that we got, took us 5,075 fossils to get our first Omanyte. The second Omanyte only took us 470. I say only 470, but compared to 5,075, that is an only 470. The first Kabuto, yeah, only. The first Kabuto was 1,410, and the second Kabuto was 2,047. So right now we've done 1,225 resets so far for Aerodactyl. And hopefully it won't take us much longer. Aerodactyl is going to be the shiny that basically how quick we can get the Aerodactyl will determine how feasible the rest of this dex will be to complete. If we can get the Aerodactyl relatively quick, and my definition of relatively quick is by the end of this weekend. If we can get the Aerodactyl before the end of this weekend, I will be very happy. I will be very happy. The backup plan is to try to get then Aerodactyl before the end of October. That's the backup plan. If we're going into November and we still don't have Aerodactyl yet, it's going to be a little bit of a cause for concern. But that's the plan. I'm probably going to have to run up to the kitchen in a moment and just start to microwave some lunch. I say lunch, but it's 4:30 for me, at least. But I did not have lunch today, so I had to run out this morning and go help my parents do something. I had to go to my parents' place and help them change a battery in their smoke detector. Now, you might be asking, well, why couldn't they have done that themselves? My mom is very short, and my dad has a broken leg right now. So, they needed some backup. Oh, so you're actually not that far from me then. Michigan ain't that far from Toronto. So as close as it is, I've never actually been to Michigan. I've been down to the States a few times. I went for, I think it was 2. I went to 2 Magic the Gathering events down in the States. Back when I played. I don't play Magic anymore, but I used to. I went to Pittsburgh for an event, and then I went to Cleveland for an event. Yeah, me and some friends, we made a road trip out of it. Went down for the weekend. So that was fun. Petra, very far from Canada. Whereabouts, Petra, if I may ask? Yeah, the drive to Cleveland wasn't that bad. We did it in a day. Didn't take us all that long to get down there. I mean, granted, we left super early that morning, but we still did it in a day. Got there, like, mid to late afternoon, I want to say. We also went to, I also went to Ottawa for an event. We drove up to Ottawa to do a Grand Prix event. That was fun. I had a lot of fun doing like, you know, Magic road trips back in the day. You know, like I said, I don't play Magic anymore, but back when I did, I had a blast playing it. Got to meet so many cool people. And honestly, playing Magic is really what kind of, you know, made me come out of my shell. So, those of you who have known me for a while might have trouble believing this, but I used to be a very, very shy kid. And even as like a teenager, I was quite shy. We got a raid coming in. Paul plays. Coming in with a raid. How are you doing this afternoon, Paul? Welcome everybody from Paul's channel. My name is Rynot. I am the guest here today on the Gamer Talk channel. I appreciate you all coming over. Appreciate the kind folks behind the Gamer Talk channel allowing me to host this afternoon. I really, really do appreciate it. My name is Rynot. I typically stream a lot of Pokemon games. We're getting really, really excited for the upcoming release of Sword and Shield. And right now we are just doing a big shiny hunt in Pokemon Let's Go. Just kind of getting ourselves ready for the upcoming release of Sword and Shield. On November the 15th. We're getting really, really close to those brand new Generation 8 games coming out. I'm super, super excited. Super excited. Oh, Paul, it's okay. I sympathize so much with people with internet issues. I used to have the worst internet. So, I sympathize deeply. Like, one of my favorite things when I boot up Pokemon Go is like, hey, you know, there's some dangerous weather. You should be aware. And then it cuts over and it's like, it's cloudy. It's like, oh, those clouds are dangerous, I tell you. Gotta love them dangerous clouds. Yeah, honestly, like, my internet used to be awful. Used to be so bad. But that has since been fixed. There were so many times where, like, I would have to, like, cut the stream short, or there would be so much buffering in the stream that I would just have to, like, you know what, I'm done early. But, we're all good. We are all good now. Get away from this guy, because you're not shiny, so we don't want to catch you. Alright, now let's reset. It is nice that we have seen one shiny so far, though. I mean, it was not our target, which is always always sucks, but still at least seeing the shinies come up is always better than just going, like, you know, the entire afternoon without seeing anything at all. But then when you get to, like, the 7th or 8th wrong shiny in a row, it's like, okay, come on, I'd rather see nothing now. Alright, that's a full room. Wednesday, honestly, is my shiny day. Wednesdays are where my shiny luck resets. If I'm having absolutely atrocious luck, I just gotta wait till Wednesday and then I'll get them all. It's happened the past 2 weeks with my Poliwag and Dratini. I just hope that we're not still hunting coughing on Wednesday. Because if we are, that's a problem. The sooner we can get coughing, the sooner we can go back to doing Aerodactyl. Which hopefully coughing will be this afternoon. If not this afternoon, hopefully this evening when wifey is with us. Because then I've got lots of time to stream tomorrow afternoon, so I would ideally like to spend my time tomorrow afternoon working on Aerodactyl. So we shall see. We shall see. Let's just have one more new thing spawn, not that replacement Chansey. Just get something else on screen and then we'll reset. Come on, something up here. Alright, let's just go. Let's just go. Oh, sorry, Cam. I completely missed that. What other Switch games do I like to play? So, Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was fantastic. I also... So, Starlink Battle for Atlas. I played that quite a bit. Just trying to think what else I have in the stack behind me. I have Mario Kart and Mario Party, although I have not played either of those yet. I mainly got those for, like, multiplayer. You know, if I have people come over, or like play with other streamers that have those. What else? I have Rayman Legends that I played a little bit of. But in all honesty, it's just been like lately it's just been like non-stop Pokemon. Let's go. Yeah, well, see, the thing is, Ken, man, if I'm playing Mario Kart, I can't be shiny hunting. So... Do I play games like Far Cry normally? Or did you get into it for work? No, I used to play Far Cry. Far Cry 3 is one of my favorite games. Far Cry 3 was an absolute blast. Far Cry 4 I loved as well, but Far Cry 3 is still my favorite. And then when I was going to then just, you know, keep playing the series, but then when I started working for Ubisoft and they're like, you're gonna work on the next Far Cry, I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is awesome. 3 was so good. 3 was so good. Voss was a perfectly done villain. Voss was so good. I did not play Blood Dragon. I didn't play Blood Dragon. A lot of people have been telling me that I should play it because I loved 3. Yeah, I've been hearing that I should play it. Did you like 5, Petra? I would really recommend 3, Petra. 3 was very, very good. Hey, welcome back, Paul. Welcome back. I'm doing great this afternoon. How are you doing, Paul? Thank you again so much for that raid. Yep, they do. I'm good besides the stream crashing. I sympathize with you deeply, Paul. I used to have a lot of internet issues, so I sympathize deeply. What were you streaming this afternoon? What was you streaming? I haven't gotten New Dawn yet. I played a little bit of New Dawn. From what I played, I really, really liked it. But then it's, you know, like... shiny hunting. But like, oh yeah, New Dawn, like, is visually gorgeous. Like, the colors are beautiful. Tried Layers of Fear. I still have a horror game stream to do at some point over on my channel for one of my viewers. I'm just... It's tricky to coordinate it right now because they just had their firstborn. And I want to make sure that they're there to experience the game with me live. So we're just waiting for things to settle down for them a little bit. But then, yeah, we'll be doing something like that. I do not like horror games at all. Did you enjoy it, though, Paul? So, Cam, the stuff that I worked on specifically in 5, did you, how much time in 5 did you spend fishing? I love a good jump scare, but Layers of Fear ain't it. I can't stand getting scared. I can't stand getting scared. So why fishing? Because for me, I was the main person that worked on the fishing. I was like one of the main testers that focused on fishing. Making sure that everything was how they wanted it. I did the one fishing quest. Oh, so you did Skylar's quest, right? Where she's like, go catch some fish. That was probably it, because I think that was one of the only fishing quests that we had. I just don't like fishing in IRL, and that's fine. Okay, yeah, it sounds like it was her quest line. So that's part of why I spent so much time focusing on fishing, because her questline was also my responsibility. So her questline was my responsibility, as well as Wheaty in the North region. He was one of the guys in the bunker. His quest lines were also for me to take care of. So he had you go visit a couple of cabins, and then you had to do like an ATV chase. And then he had you collecting records from around the region. So yeah, that chunk was my main responsibility. The ATV chase was so much fun. I loved the ATV chase. It was really, really cool. You could also, so fun fact, Cam, you could also do that in a helicopter. If you had gotten access to a helicopter, you could do that entire mission with a chopper, and then you could chase the ATV down in a helicopter. So yeah, I had a fun time doing that. Yeah, oh, it was so much fun. Mm-hmm. Which ending did you experience? Which ending did you experience? Okay. So there's 3 different endings. Yeah, there are 3 different endings. There's the one that's the most known, which is... Yeah, so there are 3 different ones. The first ending is just don't arrest the father at the start of the game. Okay, so that's the first one. Right at the start of the game, where it's like, you know, put the cuffs on him. You can just not arrest him and just leave it and just leave things be. And then you all walk out of the church and act like nothing ever happened. So that's the first one. Yeah, 4, yeah, it was like, stay right here, enjoy the crab rangoon, I'll be right back. That was cool. And so the thing that I liked about how they, like, what they did with that in 4 was when you get that secret ending in 4, you then realize that this guy, like Pagan Min, he will actually help you. He will help you accomplish what you came to Kyrat to do. And then if you actually get up and start wandering around and get involved in the Civil War, you then realize that all the events that unfold are your fault. So that was super, super cool. It's like if you would have just listened to the guy, he would have helped you accomplish what you came here to do, and everything would have been okay. All right, so yeah, so that's there's the don't arrest the father is the first one. Then the nuke is the second ending. The third ending is so at the end where you get the option to fight the father or to finally walk away. If you choose to not fight the father and walk away, you get in the car with the rest of your like sheriff friends. You take your friends, you leave. But then the main guy, as you're driving away in the car, the main guy turns on the radio. And guess what song starts playing on the radio? It's the song from the Jacob region that Jacob uses to turn you. The Only You song starts playing in the radio, and it triggers everything that Jacob taught you in the Jacob region, and then the screen like fades to red, and then the credits roll. Yeah. So it's like the ending is either like the bomb goes off or you turn and kill your companions. So like there's no happy ending. But it's cool because then it's just like you see that this guy was right the whole time. Yeah, it's cool. The endings were super, super cool. Alright, that's a full room, so let's get out. Oh, it's now a full room right as we left. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a like a 2-minute break. I've got to run up to the kitchen. I'm starved. I've just got to throw some pizza in the microwave. I will be right back. I brought some Halloween candy down too to snack on in between. We got one of those like massive boxes of like well, I guess it was discount Halloween candy. So, like those big boxes of like 100 like Aero, Kit Kat, Smarties, and Coffee Crisps. We found it basically like Walmart had a sale on the boxes for like 50% off. So we were like, yeah, I'll pay like $9 for 100 mini chocolate bars. And that was last Saturday, and the box is almost gone. All right, that was the microwave beeping, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, we are good. We are good. Spin wheel candy. So, let me explain what Ken Man means. So, whenever in my channel, whenever we get a sub, I'll bring this up. We have this lovely spin wheel, and I've color-coded it for the month of October. On the spin wheel, most of the options on the spin wheel are extra channel currency for the chat, or for the person that subbed or gifted the sub. But there's also some options on there that force me to eat candy mixed with hot sauce. And this month, because it's October, our featured hot sauce candy is candy corn. So that is what Ken Man means there by spin wheel candy. So, but yeah, probably, I mean, maybe in the stream later tonight, Ken Man. If we have any like subs drop in the stream later tonight. I mean, if anybody subs to the channel right now, I mean, I know my channel is not the one that's live right now, but we'd still get the notification come up. Oh, thank you, Cam. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hold on. I should have these in then, because we have scare alerts turned on this month too, because it's October. Ken Man, you booked the day off of Sword and Shield, right? You've got that whole day booked off? I think I remember you mentioning you had it booked off. I've had it booked off for a few months now. As soon as the release date got announced, I'm like, alright, I'm booking it off. We are we are going to be streaming a lot of Sword and Shield that weekend. We're gonna have I'm gonna have friends come over. We're gonna stream stuff together, and then we've got the Pokemon Go Community Day on the Saturday. So we're gonna use that as our exercise window for the weekend, to get up and go out, you know, get off the couch, walk around, and then come back and keep the streaming going. A lot of people, too, were saying, like, you know, it sucks that the Community Day is the same weekend that Sword and Shield come out, but in all honesty, you know, it's like, it's only a 3-hour window. Like, you use it as an opportunity to go out, get some fresh air, and get some exercise that weekend, I say. Plus, like, the Switch is portable. Like, you don't have to stop playing Sword and Shield just because you're going out to play Pokemon Go. You can take your Switch with you. So, Switch. I mean, like, that was obvious. I do still have my Xbox 360. I still have my N64. And I have the NES as well. And the DS. If you can't tell, I'm a big Nintendo fanboy. I don't have an Xbox One or a PS4. But, honestly, just, like, a lot of the games that I enjoy playing are like, Nintendo games. Or, like, I can play on Switch or PC. That's the other thing, like, console games are usually also available on PC, and I've got a really solid PC. So if I want to play a console game, I usually just get it on PC. Yeah, exactly. So PC is my, PC is like my main, like, console, I guess you could say, apart from, like, the Switch. But, like, honestly, like, the Switch is such a genius console. It's so genius that you can plug it into your TV and you can play at 1080p. And then you can, you know, undock it and take it to go, and, you know, you're still playing, like, console quality games at 720p, which is still good. Like, for handheld, on that small of a screen, 720p is perfect. And, like, being able to play, like, you know, like, Breath of the Wild, like, on the go, you're not, like, restricted to your couch, like, is amazing. Okay, lots of coughings here, my goodness. Okay, and just none of them are the color we want. Exactly, Petra, exactly. When the screen is that tiny, you don't need higher than 720p. And I wish more people understood that. So many people are like, oh yeah, you go to 720p when you undock it. It's like, this is awful. It's like, yeah, but look how tiny the screen is. It's like, it's okay. Yeah, most of the games are on PC as well. I don't think Gears is on PC. Or is it? Is Gears 5 on PC? Is it? Okay. I know the original Gears, like 1, 2, and 3, those were definitely not on PC. Halo was also not on PC. It is coming to PC. Like, there is going to be a PC release of Halo if it's not already on Steam. Is it already there? Okay, cool. So yeah, like Halo's on PC now. And, like, that is huge. That is huge. Like, that Halo is on PC now. It'd be cool if Gears was on PC. I did play quite a bit of Gears of War 3. I loved it. I played the multiplayer beta as well. So I had a blast with that. My friends at the time, I mean, they're still my friends today. We were in each other's wedding parties, actually, but he and I played Gears together a lot, so that was lots of fun. I did also used to play a lot of Call of Duty way back then, but it's just... I stopped playing Call of Duty for many reasons, and then I got... I had a friend give me the early access beta key, and I was able to play the early beta for Modern Warfare before it went in full beta. And, day one of the beta was a blast. But then, the more I played it, the more I remembered why I stopped playing Call of Duty as a kid. Like, yes, I remember why I stopped playing this. So then I'm just like, you know what, playing the beta for a little bit was fun, it was like a nice nostalgia kick. But after that, it was just like, you know what, it's okay. Gears is awesome. PS4 has a ton of exclusives that make it worth having for me, where I game the most probably. Nice. Yeah, like Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 were like some of my absolute favorite games. I never played, I played a very, very, very little bit of the beginning of Uncharted 4. I never finished it by any means. I never played The Last of Us, but I know that was a hugely popular game, and we have The Last of Us Part 2 coming out soon. But if I ever did get a console between an Xbox One and a PS4, it would be a PS4, so that I would be able to play Uncharted. My brother actually has a PS4. So that's where I was able to play a little bit of Uncharted 4, but then I just, never really got around to finishing playing the game. But if I did get a console between Xbox and PS4, I'm like 95% certain I would go for PS4. But Gears was really good. I had so much fun playing Gears. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Especially because, yeah, like you said, like... Let me actually just Google this. Yeah, Gears 5 is on Steam. Yeah, Gears 5 is on Steam. So, yeah, there you go. Exactly. No need for an Xbox when I've got a PC of this quality. No need whatsoever. Just have one more thing spawn, maybe? No, okay. Trying to think of what else is a PS4 exclusive. Isn't Horizon... What's it called? Horizon Zero Dawn? Isn't that a PS4 exclusive as well? Okay, yeah. And also, like, Sony has recently gotten a lot more friendly with cross-platform play. So, that was another reason why people sometimes would not get a PS4. Oh, right, Spider-Man. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, and God of War. Alright. PS4. Sold. That's if I'm ever getting one. But yeah, it would be PS4. Yeah, Uncharted. Yeah, we were talking about that. And then Last of Us. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, I loved them so much. I had an absolute blast playing those games. I want to say, I think 2 is my favorite. I think Uncharted 2 is my favorite. Four is one of my favorites ever. So, I didn't make it that far in 4 at all. I made, I got out of the jail. And then I remember there was, an area that was, like, kind of lush. It was, like, rocky but lush. And, you had to climb to, like, this top of, like, this, like, tower. I think that's as far as I got. So not very far at all. Oh, right, Infamous. I loved the first one. I only ever played the first Infamous, but Infamous was so good. Yeah, the first one I had a great time with. I thought it was super cool how, like, your lightning would change color based off of if, like, you know, the people liked you or they hated you. Like, if you were going, like, a more good guy versus bad guy route. If my brother ever goes away on, like, a vacation or something, I'll just ask to borrow his PS4. And then find someone that has Uncharted 4 and borrow it. Yeah, exactly. I'll just, you know, yank his PS4 from him for like a week. Actually, around Christmas time, I know he's going away for like a bit of an extended weekend with his wife's family. So I'll just go pay him a visit and just be like, yo, let me borrow that PS4. Yeah, and then we'll play through some Uncharted. Like, I've got an Elgato, so I can stream it. It's technically not my Elgato. I borrowed it from a friend, like, well over a year ago. But they've since stepped away from streaming. So they haven't needed it back yet. And a lot of what they stream is PC stuff anyway, so... Or what they used to stream. Yeah, same, Ken, man. But it looks so good. One of my... Okay, I can't believe I forgot about this. One of my favorite N64 games was that N64 Spider-Man game. I think it was the same Spider-Man game that was on PS2. It was either on PS2 or PS1. But it was the one where, like you were working with, like, Daredevil. Like, Daredevil was in it. And you were working with him, and then you had, like, all the comics around the world that you could collect. And then, like, the final villain that you fought was Doc Ock. And he was, like, chasing you down this hallway. That was such a good game. Yeah, that one, Ken, man. That old one. Then there was, like, the boss fight with Rhino where he was, like, chasing you up across all these building tops, and you just had to outrun him. And then there was, like, Scorpion in the sewers. I think it was Scorpion in the sewers. Can't remember if it was Scorpion or Venom in the sewers. But, oh, man, it was so good. Such a good game. I beat that game in one sitting. I beat it from start to finish in one sitting. Because I didn't have a, that game didn't have, like, an internal save slot. You needed a cartridge to save that game. But I didn't have a cartridge at that time, so I had no way of saving the game. So I'm like, if I don't play this game from start to finish in one sitting, I'm not gonna finish it. So I just sat there, start to finish, got right to the end, called it a day. Last game I did that to was Onimusha 2. I don't even know what that is, Ken, man. I have never heard of it. Not only have I never heard of that, I haven't heard of Onimusha 1, let alone the second one. Oh, yeah. That's... Yeah, PS2 is a while ago. PS2 is a long time ago. Reset. I don't know how old I was, but it was sometime before driving age. Yeah, so one of the things that my brother used to do when we had the N64 and like we were kids and growing up is whenever it was dinner time, okay? Whenever it was dinner time, I was usually playing on the Nintendo. And my mom would call us and say, you know, dinner will be ready in 5 minutes. And so that was when it was like, all right, I'll finish what I'm doing, save, and come down. And then what my brother would take that to mean was go upstairs to where I was playing the Nintendo and turn off the Nintendo. Not let me finish doing what I was doing. He would just come up and shut the system off. And he'd be like, Mom said dinner's ready. And I'm like, first of all, she said no, and she said in 5 minutes. Second of all, don't do that. Yeah, I was not happy. He did that on more than one occasion. He did that on multiple occasions. So my mom was like, dude, you, like, don't do that. Exactly. Exactly. But then later, when I got into playing World of Warcraft, my mom was still so used to the whole, like, you know, save your game thing. So I would be, like, down at my PC, like, playing World of Warcraft. And then my mom would be like, all right, can you save your game and come up? I'm like, don't work like that anymore, Mom. She's like, when you save your game, can you come up? Just be like, sure. I can't save it, so I'm staying forever. Yeah, I'm like, I can't save it. The other thing was like, can you pause your game for a sec? I'm like, I can't pause. She's like, what do you mean you can't pause the game? I'm like, it's an online game, Mom. I can't pause it. That happened a lot with RuneScape, too. Like, she'd be like, can you pause your game for a minute? I'm like, Mom, no. There is no pause option. She's like, so can you, like, do something to it? Because, like, I need you for a minute. I'd just be like, I'll go to a safe place so I won't die. She'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. Just do that. I need your help. That was great. Twas great. Hey, but, like, you know what else would be great? A shiny coffin. Then again, I had the same moment of disbelief when with PS4 Need for Speed. Well, oh, you mean like no saving? You mean, Ken Man, or no pausing? Oh, because it just brought up the menu, but it didn't actually pause your game. Yep. Whoa! Coughings for days. Anybody got some hauls? That was so bad. That was so bad. Oh, actually, I'm gonna need a new gameplay overlay for Sword and Shield. I just realized that. Guys, I'm gonna need a new gameplay overlay for Sword and Shield. Because what I want to do... Oh, I need to get Andrea to make this for me. I just realized this. I'm gonna need Andrea to make it for me. So, down below where I've got, like, the current and the previous, essentially what I want to do down there is I want to have, like, 6 Pokeballs. So that as I'm playing through the game, I can have my team there. And if I'm just doing, like, regular gameplay or any, like, playthrough of a Pokemon game, I need to be able to, like, have sprites of my team. So I need to do that. So I need that, and I need the new emote. So let me get on that. I need some stuff. Andrea did such an amazing job with all the artwork that that she's done for the channel. She so again, like, she did my logo. She also did the Halloween version of my logo that we have right now. We also have a Christmas version of my logo, which will be coming soon. Okay, we have a Christmas version of it as well. And she did all my layouts. So this, my starting soon screen, I have a separate one for, like, mobile gaming, like for my iPad, because I used to do that quite a bit. So yeah, she's done a lot. She's done a lot of stuff for the channel, and I love all of it. Thank you for letting Halloween have its time first. Yeah, I'm gonna let Halloween, so November 1st, dates are hard. November 1st, I'm going to be flipping back to my regular logo. And about halfway through the month of November, I'm going to reveal the Christmas logo. And then December 1st until the end of... So December 1st to January 1st, we'll be rocking the Christmas logo on stream. That means I also need to go through and put Christmas merch together. Because I've got some Halloween stuff in there right now that is there for the month of October. And then it won't be there for November. And then December we'll have some Christmas stuff. Yeah, so many coughings. There's the Chansey. So many coughings, none of them sparkling. Also, like, that's another thing that I hope Sword and Shield fixes, is I hope that when you encounter a shiny Pokemon in Sword and Shield, it's not just, like, a big star, like, right over top of the Pokemon. Like, I want it to kind of, like, go back to what it was in, like, Gen 6, where it was... Like, it's also... Gen 6 is also the same shiny animation that Go uses. That Pokemon Go uses. I want something like that back. I'm tired of, like, the big star, like, right over top of it. Try catching more... No, Kenman, I'm not gonna do what you did. I'm not gonna catch 369 of them. How about 0 more? Now, I might do, like... I might catch, like, a 30-second one, just because. Like, I sometimes do that. But, Let's do this. This is our, like, mid-hunt ritual. What we do is we go through... And we get rid of... We get rid of these ones. There's Kenman's Eevee that he sent us. There we go. Alright, we got rid of all those extra coughings in our box. Alright, so it is exactly 5:30 right now. So my wife finishes work in half an hour. So I will be wrapping it up pretty much right at 6 o'clock. So we got 30 minutes left to see this shiny coughing this afternoon. If we don't see it now, then we'll continue this hunt later this evening with Wifey with us. Yeah, come on, coughing. No, Kenman. No shiny Chansey. No shiny Chansey chance. I mean, at least it was a shiny Electabuzz and not a shiny Chansey that we saw already. It could have been worse and been Chansey. Also could have been better and been Coughing. Actually, no. I think the worst shiny that could spawn for us here would be a shiny Weezing. Because I already have the shiny Weezing, because that's what we got when we were going for Coughing the first time around. So yeah, that's actually the worst thing that we could see spawn, like, for... in terms of, like, motivation on this hunt, is seeing another shiny Weezing. Honestly, though, anything that's not the shiny Coughing is all still in the same category. Doesn't have any actual impact, but Weezing would be the worst thing, you know, like, motivationally to see. Yeah, exactly, Ken Man. Exactly. I honestly contemplated not catching the Weezing the first time around and just letting it go so that I could keep the chain and get the double Coughing, but I caught it. Ooh, I have a feeling that dinner is still in the freezer. That might be a problem. We were supposed to have homemade hamburgers tonight. And I think all the, everything is still frozen right now. So if that's the case, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, can't exactly make hamburgers with frozen hamburger meat. So. Put it in a hot water bath. No, I personally, I'm not a fan of, like, speed defrosting stuff like that. I know some people, like, do that, or, like, they'll microwave it or something, but for me, I'm not a fan of doing that at all. Just, let it defrost on its own. At least I have a lure on. When I was in here hunting for a Magnemite shiny, I spent, like, the first, like, the first, like, hour and a half, I think, of the stream without having a lure on. Which, having a lure increases the amount of spawns you see, but also increases your odds of seeing a shiny as well. So, my Magnemite hunt was a lot slower than it could have been. Slow is best? Yeah. Agreed. 100% when I come... And it's also the safest, too. When you're defrosting food. It's the safest. Oh, I'll check once we wrap up here. I'll go check. See what the status is. Maybe we'll just go, like, grab subs or something for dinner. Well, that Chansey and that Electrode up there, that was a little weird. So glad that coughing there was not the shiny one. Spawned right as we hit the door. That would have been bad. Sounds good, Kedman. Thanks for hanging out today, dude. Enjoy the walk. Enjoy the walk with the dogs. Hopefully you see some shiny ghosts, or just ghosts in general in Pokemon Go. I still haven't caught a shiny in Pokemon Go from the Halloween event. From like the increased ghosts that are spawning. Have not caught one yet myself. I'll see you probably tonight at the second stream tonight, Ken Man. Have a good afternoon, dude. Alright, 20 minutes coughing. You got 20 minutes to show yourself. Because I really want to move on to Aerodactyl tonight. The longest I've waited for one. Okay, so consecutively, the longest hunt that I did was actually that Dratini that's down there. So, last week, Saturday. Okay? Last weekend, Saturday. I started the hunt for Dratini. And then I did not get... So I was going for 2 Dratinis. Because I need one for actual Dratini. And one to evolve into a Dragonair. And I already have Dragonite because you can get wild Dragonites in this game. You can have wild Charizards and wild Dragonites. So I had a wild shiny Dragonite spawn. So I caught that for my shiny Dragonite. So I only needed 2 Dratinis. So I started the hunt last weekend, Saturday night. I didn't catch either of the 2 Dratinis until this past Wednesday. So I went all of Saturday night, all of Sunday, all of Monday, all of Tuesday, and the first half of Wednesday not seeing a shiny Dratini. And then on the Wednesday night, I got both of them. So that was probably my longest, like, consecutive hunt. The Hitmonlee that I posted earlier, that one is probably, like, the longest hunt where I, like, kept having to go back to it. I had to go back to that hunt, like, 5 or 6 different times because I kept getting a different shiny. So... But in terms of, like, actually sitting at the exact same location, yeah, the Dratini hunt was the longest. But it was nice that I was able to get both of them in the same night, and then I was able to move on. So, question for you guys. So I'll be wrapping up in about 20 minutes or so. I guess it's just more of like a question like, what have people done in the past? Is it just typical, just like raid whoever, or is it preferred to just end off the stream? I just want to make sure like I do whatever's cool. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. We'll I'll just pull up my list and see who's on there. I have somebody in mind. I just want to make sure that they're still streaming at that time. So Nicholas Games, hello. Welcome. How are you doing this afternoon? This is a slow spawn. We're gonna leave. It'd be nicer if just all of the spawns could always just be like, bam, bam, bam. Here we are. Reset that. Let's take a peek. Yeah, okay, you're still there. Cool. Run from you, you are not shiny. So who's next after coughing, and how do you decide order? So order, I just kind of go in terms of what I just feel like hunting next. But after coughing, I want to do Aerodactyl because I want to get that final fossil shiny just done. Because the fossil is going to be one of the harder ones to do. And it's, like, not harder. The hunt is actually very easy. It can just be a very, very time-consuming hunt. So, I want to get Aerodactyl done next. Because once I have Aerodactyl done, I won't have to do any more fossils. And the sooner I can get Aerodactyl done, the better I'll feel about being able to complete this dex before November the 15th. So that's why I want to get Aerodactyl done afterwards. The reason why I didn't do Aerodactyl today is because Aerodactyl is a lot of standing around just pressing the A button. There's nothing exciting. So that's why I wanted to do, like, a hunt where, like, I actually, like, you know, there's wild spawns, I'm moving around, that kind of a thing. So I felt that that was a better choice for, for this afternoon. So that's why I picked coughing. And also just because I only need one coughing. I think apart from... No, Meowth I still only need one of. And then Pinsir I obviously only need one because Pinsir doesn't evolve. So... And then everything else I need at least 2 of. That's a wild encounter. So yeah, we need 3 Eevees, 2 Krabbies, 2 Abras, and 2 Executes. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we get. I also hunt off stream as well, just because of like wanting to get this done before November the 15th. Excuse me. I just basically try to maximize the screen time. And like the nice thing about like hunting in this game is that it's like relatively passive, where like I literally just have to just wait for the shiny to appear. So it's pretty easy to like hunt in these games while I'm doing something else, like, you know, watching TV or just like having dinner or something like that. So if we don't get the coughing in the next like 12 minutes or so, I'll still have like a 3-hour window between when I wrap up here and then when Wifey and I start streaming later this evening. So I might be able to get the coughing then as well. And if I get the coughing then I'll just start up later again this evening going for Aerodactyl. Yeah. I also gotta still figure out then what the state of dinner is. Is dinner frozen? We'll find out. My favorite dinner. My favorite dinner by far. It's like, sweetie, what are we doing for dinner tonight? We're having ice. Oh, yes, my favorite. I love it. My wife is actually a really, really good cook. She's a very, very good cook. She also bakes a lot, too. Her homemade cinnamon rolls, so good. Her cinnamon rolls are the best. And, like, a lot of people in my family like them, so, like, when we go to, like, family dinners or whatever, everybody's like, can she, like, make cinnamon rolls? She does such a good job on them. She makes this really, really good cream cheese frosting too. And like, it's not an overpowering cream cheese flavor. Because you know how like sometimes if you have like red velvet or anything that uses cream cheese frosting, it can be really strong and sometimes it's a little bit more off-putting. Hers is just like a really nice and mild cream cheese flavor. So like, you taste that it's there, but it's not like, oh my goodness, this is like way too much. So yeah, she gets those requested very frequently. It's actually, so she's like, what kind of birthday cake do you want this year? I'm like, I don't. Just make your cinnamon buns. Cinnamon buns over birthday cake. 100%. Especially hers. Like, especially hers. I'm not the hugest fan of most cakes. I mean, I do like cake. Don't get me wrong. But when, like, it's, like, this much cake and this much icing, it's just like, no. No. That's when it's just over the top, like, way too sweet. It's, you know, like, give me, like, 90% cake and, like, 10% icing. And, like, it's good. It just needs to be just, like, a light, you know, thing on top. Doesn't have to be, you know, like, twice as much as the cake. It was always, like, when you had, like, birthday cakes when you were a kid, they would do, like, you know, like, icing balloons and everything like that. And it was always like, oh, do you want, like, one of these pieces with the balloon on it? It's like, no. That's way too much. Even as a kid, I was just like, no, that's too much. I'm not a big fan of cream, so I don't like most cakes because they're like 90% cream. Yeah. There's I completely forgot what I was gonna say there. I had something, then I lost it. Oh well. I'll remember it, you know, like when I'm trying to fall asleep tonight. Just be like, oh, I remember that now. And then I won't be able to fall asleep. Alright, coughing. You have 8 minutes. You have 8 minutes coughing. Okay, so when I was doing the Mr. Mime hunt, when I was doing the hunt for the shiny Mr. Mime, I was doing the hunt right before bed. And I was like, I had my Switch, and I'm like, I said to myself, I'm like, I am not going to... Actually, I said it to my wife. I'm like, I'm not going to bed tonight until I get this shiny Mr. Mime. Like, I'm just not doing it. Like, I'm staying up. I'm getting this shiny Mr. Mime. 2 minutes later, there it was. So I'm like, oh, all right, cool. This works. And then when I started the Poliwag hunt, it was like, you know, like mid-afternoon or whatever. Or like I was on my lunch break at work. I'm like, I am not going to sleep until I get this Poliwag. But it then took like 3 days, so it doesn't always work. Come on, coughing. Not wheezing. Poliwhirl. Yeah, let's reverse psychology the game. Let's make it think we want something different, so then the coughing can be like, I can show myself, and then we're just like hitting your mind. Yeah, well. It's huge, but it ain't shiny. No, Chansey. Stay away, Chansey. It's totally gonna appear when I'm, like, not streaming. I'll just be, like, in my kitchen, contemplating our frozen hamburger meat, and then I'll just look over and I'll be like, oh, hey, there's coughing. Coughing is a shy boy for sure. No, Electabuzz, get out of here. Maybe he wants a burger. Well, if he wants a burger, he's gonna have to be fine with a frozen patty. Coughing is one of my favorite shinies from this first generation. I just love how, like, the body goes like that, like, pale, like, greenish blue color, like a really pale turquoise, and then the gas just goes, like, all pink. It's a really, really cool shiny. Then we've also, so come Generation 8, we're going to have a Galarian version of Weezing. So there's going to be another, there's going to be a new version of Weezing. And it's going to look a little bit different and have a slightly different typing. But it looks amazing. It looks so good. Oh, it is. It is Petra. I'm so excited for Sword and Shield. Like, Sword and Shield, part of the reason why I'm excited for them, obviously, because they're brand new Pokemon games. They're the first main series games on the Switch, because Let's Go is a little bit of a different take on the Pokemon games. So they're the first main series games on Switch. And the amount of, like, opportunities for things that we can do on the channel with them is huge. There's, like, Sword and Shield is also going to be my gateway into competitive Pokemon battling as well. So I'm going to be learning the whole competitive scene, learning how to breed competitive Pokemon, all of that stuff. And then I'm also looking forward to them being able to do battles with viewers. And there's also like a 4-player raid feature as well, where you can like raid battle like gigantic Pokemon together. So I'm looking forward to doing that kind of a thing with viewers as well. They do. I can't wait. I can't wait. Gonna just like cycle in viewers. We're gonna do stuff together. It's going to be awesome. All right, we're gonna do one more run here. We're gonna do like one more room, and if the coughing's not here, then we're going to call it. No Voltorb. Voltorb, go away. I'll let a couple more things spawn, but I don't think we're gonna be seeing it this afternoon, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll let one more coughing spawn. Okay, there we go. Okie dokie, that's gonna do it. We'll just give her a quick pause here. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for letting me host this afternoon. This was super, super fun. Again, very, very grateful that you chose me, that you let me do this. I think this is really, really cool. It's a cool opportunity.